What's up, friends? It's Volt Firecore. Welcome back to my breakdown of Anel's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 speedrun. Now, we're on episode 3, and we are heading over to Uriah at the moment. And before the video starts, last video there was a little bit of a hiccup in the recording due to me dropping my quote-unquote recording software on the floor, which led to a very loud noise. Now, I probably should have cut the video, or redid the video, or at least, maybe turned down the audio on that section, but I did not. So I'm sorry if I startled any of you, and I will try to avoid doing that in the future. So let's get into it. So immediately after you do the clip, you switch back into Crossset, and Dromark now fades into obscurity, since unfortunately, Dromark is not too useful compared to the epicness, which is Crossset. So, like I said inside of last video, there are a few skips inside of this speedrun. A few of them harder than others, and that one was pretty cool. So now we're running over to Uriah because, well, like I probably said inside the last video, Van Dam has some dude over here who can help us with our quest to get to the World Tree. Most of the game is just wandering around trying to find people to help you out get into the World Tree. But on our quest to go over there, we settle down and watch a play and enjoy ourselves. But then some unforeseen incident happens with one of our party members, which we will get into. So I'm not sure if it is faster, but I do like to go to the right over here because it avoids the little bend in the road. It's probably faster. If not, it's better on your fingers, so you don't have to move as much. I don't know. I haven't been playing as much as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as I probably should, especially since I'm making this series about speedrunning. I should probably play the game, but I've been playing quite a bit of Dragon Quest, and it's kind of taken up most of my time. But we're walking over to Uriah, which is my second favorite Titan inside the entire game. I'm not going to turn the audio on, but after you watch this, be sure to look up the audio for Uriah's music, since it's definitely some of my favorite. So Anel right there does some jumps on some rocks, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that saves a little bit of time. So this is Fonset Maima. I'm not sure what the official town's name is. I'm probably being an idiot, but it doesn't matter. This is a big old town, and it's really pretty. And the people who live inside of Uriah, well, they look almost identical to most of the people of the world or the universe. But they have these weird rock polyps on their face. I'm not too sure what it's supposed to be, but they have some weird scales on their cheeks. That's how you distinguish that they are Urians from the Great Titan Uriah. And they also have their strange-looking battle droid army soldiers, which, as the name implies, they look a lot like the battle droids from Star Wars. But we get inside of a little fight over here, which is pretty easy. You just kind of have to use cross-set strat on him, and he is really weak. Now, if you do get a break on it, it makes it a million times easier. And he does have a few blowdown moves, like his somersault kick, but even if you get blown down, you're fine. So like normal, collect as many HP potions as you can, and I'm pretty sure inside of this battle, you just charge up to level 2 and hopefully get a break. Yeah, so as you see there, he used somersault kick, and it knocks you down. So you want to be sure you use your arts and your specials inside the right time. So then you charge up and get a topple. Well, break works too, but if you get the topple, then you can just use a fusion combo, and that does a lot of damage. So here's a little interesting part of the game, which is pretty interesting, as the name implies. So after we beat him up, we make our way up this staircase and buy some items. Now, these items aren't actually necessary to progress inside the story, but buying every single one of them does give us the opportunity to buy what is called a deed. Inside this game, if you buy every single item that a shop has, you can purchase a deed, and the deed of the shop means that you're the owner. So we sell some legendary core crystals, and there it is. And this particular deed makes it so we get 5% more movement speed. So we walk faster, and it's very helpful since there are some sections which you have to walk a lot. So it's definitely worth it. So now we go inside of a play, and this particular play is about Mithra and Pyra and Mithra's past, and then they give some background on how their life came to be and all that. And then we talk to the play director, which is the dude we have to talk to, Mr. Cole or Minoff. So after we talk to him, we go rest at the inn because we're savages, and we have to buy a chip for Poppy since it makes her attack go up higher. So we rest at the inn over here, and here comes a battle. Now this is the hardest battle that I've ever had to do inside of the speedrun, personally. It's a fight with two familiar faces, being Akos and Malos. They came over here and they want to beat up Cole, unfortunately, and they also kidnapped his granddaughter or his niece or something. And inside the middle of the night, Pyra Petersoned and ran away without telling anyone, which I still don't know why she did that. I'm pretty sure Malos said, "Come alone," but still, like, come on, man. Don't be that guy. So then we have to run over to this great stairway, and it's kind of tense running up this because if you lose this fight, most of the time you have to reset unless you're just trying to do it quickly and not trying to get world record. But it's a hard fight. Usually I save at the bottom of the staircase and learn this fight, which is really scary. So as you can see, it's a very large staircase, and we have to go save Pyra. Now, of course, we're not going to equip Van Damme since, well, he's okay, but he's not amazing. And we're going to take on the duo of savagery. Now, this is a hard fight for a couple reasons. The biggest one is they both have the ability, well, one of them has the ability to shackle your blade and also shackle your driver, which means you can't use blade combos and you can't do anything with your blade, or you can't do anything with your driver and you just have to stand there. They also have a variety of moves that can topple you, break you, launch you, all those kind of things, which is really annoying. So you have to target Akos first because he has less health, I think, and if he uses a move called Checkmate, that makes it so you just kind of stand still. So as you see right here, we're just trying to get as much damage as possible, which I'm pretty sure requires a level 1 and then a level 4. Yeah, so you use level 1 on Crossette, and then he uses Checkmate, which is unfortunate. You use the tier 2 with Pyra, and then you just charge up to a number 4 with Crossette, and hopefully you can get a break, because I'm pretty sure if you get the break, it kills a lot easier. But as you can see right there, I now collected a very large amount of HP potions, which helped quite a bit. Now, Malos right there used a move that taunts. Like I said inside the previous video, taunting makes it so, you have to target that person, which would be really bad, since Akos only had a sliver of HP left. So as you saw right there on the party select, there was no Van Damme. Unfortunately, he sacrificed himself. It was pretty cool and pretty beautiful, but I'm still really sad since the BFG was a real cool character. But we're angry, so we're going to go beat up Malos. And as you can see over there, the blondie chilling over there, that is Mithra, the true form of Pyra. Pyra is kind of like a weird shadow of herself, because Mithra wanted to create like some weird idol to like hide behind, like a mask. But this is the true Mithra. She's really strong, and she's a light type blade, which is a lot different than fire type blades. Even though fire type fusion combos or just blade combos are very good inside the speedrun, since cross-set is a big part of it. But instead of this one, you want to, as quickly as you can, try to get the fusion combo with the nuclear blast. And if you do not get this, you use nuclear blast, and then you have to, if you don't get the break, then you use nuclear blast, then you have to chain attack, and it wastes like 45 seconds or something. But if you do get the break, it does that. And unfortunately, these dudes have very high break resistance, so it doesn't work too often. But that's chapter 3. Now on to chapter 4, which is the final chapter that I did before I stopped speedrunning. at least for the time being. Now, I am going to continue doing this series past chapter 4, but I want to just continue, but instead of a breakdown, it's going to be more of a watch with me. I'm still going to call it breakdown though, since I am going to explain the video, or at least try to. Okay, so this is a really big loading time since a bunch of cutscenes happen here, or at least a really big one. This game has a lot of cutscenes, especially the final cutscene inside of chapter 10, which is like 45 minutes or 30 minutes or something. But now we have to do the quest, Van Damme's Last Wish, which is pretty much Van Damme wanting us to run his mercenary group. Since he died, he thinks Rex is a savage and he can help out. So we talked to this dude, which is why inside of chapter 3 we grabbed that skip travel position to make this faster. And this unlocks a very interesting part of the game called Merc Missions, which you can send some blades on a quest and they'll come back with items and all those kind of things. So this is just a Merc mission that you have to do, and this is a really good time to pull more blades just in case you didn't get Boreas, or if there's a certain blade that would help, like a Keen Eye blade or something, or if you have to collect your 3 grounds, your 2 fires, and your 1 wind blade. So he got a fire blade there. I can't hear what's happening, but it doesn't matter. Just have a big old whiteboard inside your head so you can try to remember all the things that are necessary inside the speedrun. Now, if you're doing the speedrun without clips, you'd have to collect a fair amount of electric blades, since there is a certain area which requires a lot of electric blades. But that is actually something that you clip past. So you could just collect a bunch of electric blades, but it would take a while. So we do this clip, which is very difficult. Alright, so he just keeps opening up because we have a minute to spare due to this Merc mission, which is mandatory to do. There is another Merc mission which you technically you could do, but Merc missions aren't used inside the quest too much. So he's just trying to get, I'm pretty sure, 1 more Earthblade, since this is, I think, the final time that you pull rare blades. So right here, Anel is overdriving a blade to Rex, since Rex, if he has a healing blade equipped to him, he'll go after your HP potions, and you don't want that. So inside of a section where Mithra is mandatory, you have to put this this common blade on Rex to make it easier. So we complete the Merc mission, and we complete Van Damme's Last Wish. Unfortunately, we're not going to be doing much Merc mission-wise, but it's still really cool to do inside the main game. So now we have to escape. We're gone. We're heading out. We have places to be. So we have to go inside of this this boat. So going inside this boat takes us to the Argentum Trade Guild, which usually you could just teleport to, but this is a marker that you have to talk to the person, and then it starts the quest. So if you skip travel to Argentum, it wouldn't do anything. So you do a little jump here to save time, and collect a Ox Core, which is Hunter Chemistry. Now let me explain what Hunter Chemistry is. Inside of this game, you have a beam that connects your blade to your driver that is called your Affinity Beam, or just Affinity. Having this at a blue marker means it's not at max, but if it turns gold, well, that means it's really high, like it's at max. And some characters get buffs inside of their attack depending on if they're at max affinity or not. Now, this Ox Core that Anel just collected makes it so if you are the person to attack first inside of a battle, you get your hands on a lot of affinity. Now, late game, you can get some higher max affinity things, so your affinity goes up like immediately, and you get max affinity as soon as you start the battle. But this one, I think, just makes it so you get a little bit more. So now we talk to the dude and head over to the Argentum Trade Guild. So we're going over here because we have a place that we need to go. There's a boat, and we got to go on this boat. But first, we go back here and talk to this dude. I'm pretty sure his name's Signori. I don't know. He has a core crystal, which is another DLC blade known as Corvin, who is very strong. But Crosset's still the MVP. So a certain cutscene happens up here, which is a very funny cutscene, and I like it a lot. When I think of Xenoblade Chronicles 2, this is one of the biggest cutscenes I think of. So we got to get some tickets for our party, and unfortunately, these tickets are quite expensive. By this point inside the game, by just killing enemies, you should have enough money. If not, you could just sell some stuff, especially if you have the DLC, since you can just sell like one rare core crystal or a couple legendaries, and you'll be at a very high amount of money. So we have to pay some money since Rex is the only salvager on this party. And now we go back to our party members and have that very epic cutscene, which involves some bedroom shenanigans. So by this point inside the game, we're getting to know the characters a lot, and there are some more characters to be added, but they really want these characters to stick out, which they definitely did for me. So now that we had a good night's rest, we can head on the boat and go to Mor Ardain. Now, Mor Ardain is a dying titan, like I said before, but we have to go there since you can't directly go from Uriah to our actual destination, which is the Praetorium. I'll get into the thing that's happening there later. So we're heading over to the boat and gonna go to Mor Ardain. But unfortunately, Rex is kind of an idiot. So he's just holding out Rock's core crystal, which was given to us, unfortunately. Probably should have just kept it, but Van Damme wanted Rex to have his core crystal. Now, Blades, when their driver dies, they revert back to their little rock. So Rock is just chilling inside of his rock, and it was just stolen. So even though Rock isn't that good, we like Van Damme, so we're gonna go chase down this annoying kid who is actually a Gormati. So we gotta go all the way back to Gormott and do some interesting things. The first thing we have to do is just talk to some dude, since inside of this quest, there are a bunch of people you can talk to, but only one person matters, which is Mr. Nugby over here, who tells us that we have to go over to the timber site that we were at before to collect that puzzle tree wood, and then we have to do some track following, and this is a pretty easy part of the game. It's kind of just a weird detour that they wanted you to do, but I can understand why they did it. They wanted you to explore the area again, I guess. So we talked to Otto, whatever his name is, and he tells us to follow tracks, which are not used many times inside of the game and post game. But inside of this part, you gotta follow these tracks, and if you follow them correctly and not skip travel, it leads you back to Uman's shipyard. So the kids are chilling over here since Uncle Uman is out on a vacation or something, or he's out with his waifu body pillow on a beach, enjoying life, trying to avoid the coronavirus. Okay, so now we're heading over to Uman shipyard. Now there are some pretty weak enemies in here, but the fight itself is not very difficult. And I think after this fight, I'll probably end the recording. But these enemies are really easy. You just have to use like an art, and then a level 1 special, and then an art, and then pretty much all of them are dead. As you can see, their health bar gets deleted by Crosset. I don't even think we need to collect any HP potions, we just kind of beat them up. So these kids are sicking their birds on us since they think that we're weak, but we're actually really broken for this point of the game. So the kids are afraid of us, and we ask for Rock's core crystal back, and yep, there it is. Rock's core crystal, which he's not that good, but we have collected him. So we will continue it next video on what happens to Rock and how we are going to help these kids, because these young Gormati children did not steal Rock's core crystal just to sell it off on the black market, but that'll wait until next episode. So thank you guys for watching, and keep on lookout for my videos. Also be sure to check out Anel inside the description and the link to this video in the description. Thanks for watching.